The 38th Tour of Corsica was run in the shadow of the death of the Formula 1 world champion Ayrton Senna. It was also run in the shadow of François Delacour being absent after a serious road accident in a friend's Ferrari F40, which effectively put him out of the season. Jörg Kankkunen was eager to make up for his Safari disappointment and to take a 5th world crown. Mickey Biasion was now left to uphold Ford honour. He had a brand new car, but brake problems on the opening day slowed his progress. There was no doubting, though, that the Ford Escort Cosworth on tarmac remained a very spectacular car. The leading Subaru driver was Carlos Sainz. He still needed more time in the car, but he was also now concerned that he needed more speed. He was, however, the only opposition to Didier Auriol on the opening day, Sainz hurling the Impreza around in his inimitable fashion. Auriol is the master of Corsica. He'd had no win for 12 months, but it looked as though that was now all going to change. He took the lead early on the first day and never lost it. Bruno Thierry was here as ever with his semi-worked RAS-prepared Ford Escort Cosworth, although he had a damaged gearbox on day 2 and as a result lost a lot of time. And as for Colin McRae, well, as ever, he was fast, on the limit, and hardly any caution at all being demonstrated. A puncture didn't force him to lift, but when he had a second blow out of the rear of the car, the Subaru was spat from the road, and the damage was too great for him to continue. No sooner had he had to retire from the event, but doubts were being raised about his continuing place in the team. Once again, Andrea Raghini made it into the World Championship stage. He was run by the Grifoni team and able to run at a consistent pace. Last year's Sanremo winner, Franco Cunico, was driving an ex-Delacour Portugal Escort, and he had a good opening day. Especially after the problems for Thierry, it was expected that Cunico would rise up the order. No surprises in Formula 2, a Renault Clio Williams was leading, and Jean Ragnotti was the driver. He was going to have his work cut out here, though, as among the competition was Philippe Bugalski, his car running with a semi-automatic gearbox. But this, a sad sight of the day. Colin McRae with a battered car on 3 wheels, limping out of the rally. The second day would take the cars to some of the most spectacular stages. It was hardly a straight to speak of. It was going to be action and hard work for the drivers all the way. Auriol took 41 seconds off the previous year's record on stage 20 and looked untouchable, with only Sainz to worry about. The Spaniard was pushing as hard as he could, but the gap was too great, and the Subaru just didn't have the pace of the Toyota. Andrea Raghini was running 3rd overall ahead of Kankkunen. The Finn was in 4th place, but after Franco Cunico had crashed out, he had hit a wall. The Ford Escort was very badly damaged and out of the rally, and there were immediately concerns over the spectators' safety. Thankfully, all involved were okay, but as it took Cunico out of the rally, it left Biasion to uphold Ford's fortunes. On the 3rd day, Auriol had clutch problems. He discovered that the clutch itself had lots of oil on it. With no time to change it, the mechanics had to clean the oil off it, but that was enough to keep him in the rally and keep him in the lead. A contrast from the Safari rally to Corsica, but once again the Team Toyota Europe mechanics were equal to the job. With hardly any loss of time, they were able to get the Toyota Celica back into a competitive frame and send Auriol back onto the rally. The Frenchman, though, seemed to be feeling the strain. For the Subaru team, Carlos Sainz was happy to be in 2nd place, but disappointed that he just couldn't catch the Frenchman. He would set off onto the final day stages, eager to try and close that gap, and fully aware that with Auriol having those clutch problems, the Toyota may conceivably retire. Ford were extremely disappointed with the demise of Franco Cunico, especially as once again Mickey Biasion didn't seem to have anything to offer the opposition. The former double world champion had been quick, but hardly on the pace of the regular rally frontrunners all season long. And Bruno Thierry, having lost time with that damaged gearbox, was now having to fight his way back up through the order. The Belgian driver was impressing many, though, in this his first full season in the World Rally Championship, and his first year with a four-wheel drive turbo car, while Jean Ragnotti was the comfortable and confident Formula 2 leader. Ragnotti, the man who'd won the 1981 Monte Carlo Rally, co-driven by Gilles Demunier, were about to set off for the afternoon stages. A Formula 2 victory looked as though it was just around the corner. Despite those clutch problems for Didier Auriol, he was able to hang on to that lead and score his first victory on the championship for over 12 months. It did his confidence a lot of good, and it also moved him into the lead of the championship. Having come so close in 1992, people were now wondering whether Auriol could possibly steal the 1994 championship. Auriol's only opposition all rally long had been Carlos Sainz with the Subaru Impreza. The Spaniard knew he had a chance when Auriol hit trouble, but then Carlos had an anti-roll bar shear at the front left-hand end, and that made the car virtually undrivable. As if that wasn't bad enough, it happened near the start of the longest stage of the rally. It meant that Sainz had to be content with second position. In a safe and very impressive third place was Andrea Raghini with his Grifoni-run Toyota Celica. It had been a very impressive performance by him, running at a smooth, rapid and consistent pace all through the rally, and he was not only humbling teammate Jörg Kankkunen, but also being able to stay ahead of all the works escorts. All involved were understandably delighted with the pace of Raghini in the private Celica. Jörg Kankkunen had had a subdued opening day. He lost time, which eventually he couldn't claw back. Indeed, this was going to become something of a habit for Kankkunen, losing time on an opening day when he was being rather conservative. As the season progressed, it became obvious that everybody had to attack right from the first day, but here Kankkunen failed to do so, and he lost his lead in the championship, finishing fourth overall. Mickey Biasion suffered major brake problems on the second day of the rally, the pedal going straight to the floor, which didn't really inspire confidence. Ford were amazed that they should have been fighting for a victory, but in truth they were looking at only fifth place. The Italian would finish a mere 6 seconds ahead of Bruno Thierry, and don't forget that Thierry had damaged the gearbox midway through the event. The Belgian driver had continued to impress people. Biasion, with a slightly healthier car, was fifth, Thierry was sixth, but Ford were understandably disappointed. Who knows what may have happened had Delacour been able to compete. In seventh place was another escort, that driven by Patrick Bernardini, the local driver with a Yakko-backed car, keeping his cool all rally long. Being cheered on by the crowds, he was happy to finish so well up. No surprises in Formula 2. The category was won by Jean Ragnotti and Gilles Demunier with their Renault Clio Williams. This car runs with a conventional gearbox, unlike his teammate Philippe Jurgalski, whose semi-automatic car had slipped right down the order early on. There was slight concern on the final day when Ragnotti's Clio developed a slight fuel leak. He was able to hang on though and score victory in Formula 2. He won from another Renault driver, Serge Jourdain, who finished 9th overall. Jourdain and others run with a conventional gearbox. Group N was once again won by the Spaniard Jesus Puras, who now moved into the lead of the Group N Championship. And second place went to Mohamed bin Solayem, more normally seen in Gulf rallies. Auriol the winner, Sainz and Nagini with Kankkunen fourth, and Mickey Biasion's Ford Escort in fifth place. So Auriol won for the first time in over a year and led the championship.
No, I think it's not an easy rally, and before the start of this race I say that maybe Carlos Sainz can be the challenger here, and it's not a mistake what I think, because Carlos pushed me always during this 3 day, and I have need to drive really fast and really big attack for try to control him. it's nice to have this victory here because now it's 1 year and 4 months, I think, then I have no victory, and maybe for the future of the season we are first in the championship conductor. So it's good, but the season is long, and now we must appreciate this victory, and we think now Acropolis.